Arnold and Washington, it's surprising to us today. We think of Washington as this careful, pragmatic leader, who will not take unnecessary chances. But there's a part of him that was very much like Arnold. And I think, Arnold was in many ways what Washington could have been if he was 10 years younger and not saddled with the terrible responsibility of command. He could have gone in there and been that kind of battlefield hero that worked miracles on the battlefield. I mean, that I think was a kind of fantasy for Washington, but he couldn't, of course, he realized he couldn't do that as commander-in-chief. And so he had, I think, great sympathy and respect for Arnold as a warrior. And he realized he could carry it too far, but he lacked those kinds of military figures in his army. He desperately needed someone like an Arnold. And I think it created kind of a blind spot for him. And Washington was, unlike Arnold, a very trusting person by personality. He gave the people he trusted. He had to, or he couldn't have created a functioning army. And so Arnold caught, it wasn't until Arnold caught a lot of people by surprise, but Washington in particular. And yet I think one of Washington's greatest moments is after he learns of Arnold's attempt to turn over West Point. Everyone around him is fulminating with outrage. And Washington, you can tell, is feeling this. But he writes this incredible letter to his French counterpart, Rochambeau, putting it in an immense perspective. Here he is in the midst of all of this. One of his best generals has gone to the British, and he says, the remarkable thing is here we are, this new republic in the middle of a battle, and the remarkable thing is there haven't been more attempts like this. And and he was able to see the long view while people around him are surrendering to their passions. He, through his force of personality and character, a character that he has been creating all his life, is able to contain that and to turn those energies in a positive and ultimately constructive direction.